This video is published by mbkpinternational.com. In this video we're going to talk about a Guillotine EC19 Pro and changing the main motor on it. It's basically the motor for the blade. This video would also be for the EC19M, and it can also be used for the EC17. The EC17 is going to look a little different than this, but the motor is going to be the same motor. It's going to be in the same position. It's going to have the same wire, so it's going to be a very similar layout for the EC17. You could use this video to replace the motor on the EC17 as well. But right here we got an EC19 Pro. Okay, first thing you want to do is you want to take your paper cutter for safety reasons. You don't want to do this on the stand. You want to take your paper cutter off your stand. To do that, you want to remove the two front doors real quick, because they'll fall once you lift this. So remove your two front doors of your stand, and then have at least 3 strong people, one on the front corner here, and one on the other front corner, and one person in the back. Or you can do 4 people, one on each corner, but at least 3 strong people to lift it off the stand and bring it. Set yourself up a station somewhere where you got some room to work on it, and it'd be a good idea to put maybe some styrofoam planks down and some cardboard or something just for some padding for it, because you don't want to damage anything on it. And carefully lay it on its right side as you face it. It's the easiest way to do it, on the right side of the cutter. Okay, once you got it laid on its right side like this, it can wobble a little bit, but it shouldn't go anywhere. You can have somebody hold it if you want, but it shouldn't really go anywhere. Once you get it on its right side, you can come over here. I've done a few things in this to speed this video up, but it's actually very simple. The only difficulty in changing this motor is lifting your cutter up and placing it somewhere, because it's heavy. And also this is a little heavy. It's maybe 20 pounds or something. So, first you want to start by, obviously you have the cutter unplugged because you moved it. So there's no power to the cutter. And this if you have this plastic cap, it just snaps on, so you just pull it off. And you got 4 wires here. I've already numbered these, 4, 3, 2, 1. I would start on this side closest to the green transmission and number it 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can number them one at a time by taking, because it's kind of hard to number them when they're on. So you can take like the number 1 off and number it, then take the number 2 off, then number it. I just used a little masking tape and then just numbered it with a Sharpie, so I know what it is. That's number 3 right there. Okay, now you don't mess with these top screws here, but the bottom ones here, just loosen them all. And then make sure you number this 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order, starting from this transmission 1, and that way you get them back on in the right order on your new motor. And those are the only wires going to this thing. Things you want to be careful on is these things here. They can break easy if you hit them. So these screws knock out and strip the screws. This is aluminum, so the threads screwing these in, they're not super strong. So try not to bump these or hit these 2 pieces here, because they could break off. So just be very careful. You may want to have 2 people lifting this off. You only got 4 bolts holding this, and here's one right here, and I backed them out, and I'm going to take one off. You can see there's 1. Here's 2. It takes a 10mm wrench to loosen these. There's 2. Here's another one right here. And let's come around this way and I'll show you the last one. It's pretty easy. You got all 4, and there's the 4th one right there. That'd be the toughest one to get to, but it's not that hard. Okay, there's all 4. And one thing I also want to tell you, if you order a motor, we're not going to just send you a motor for the reason we're not going to send you a brand new motor that's never been installed in a machine. And the reason for this, we're going to take a new paper cutter and we're going to remove the motor from it. And the reason for this is because these things come very close. There's not very much clearance from this to this paper push when it comes forward. It comes very close to hitting it. And also these fins here, they're either going to be ground down or cut off, or missing, because this paper push, when it moves forward, would hit those fins. So that you can see how these been cut off. This is a new paper cutter that I'm taking this motor off, and we're going to give you one out of a new paper cutter. So there could be a little blemish on it here or there, but it is a new motor. It's just in a new cutter that has been installed in a cutter and has been checked to make sure it clears everything, and it's right, because it's a very tight fit in here. There's not a whole lot of room for any error here. So all these things need to be positioned just right and stuff. A lot of times the screws are on the edges of them and stuff to position these just right so it doesn't hit this paper push. Okay, so this motor here, once you get those 4 bolts, it should just pull straight up. You can kind of rock it if you want, if it's stuck, because an old motor could get stuck in there, just where it doesn't want to come out. But basically it's just going to come straight up. So again, be careful with these. You don't really want to lift on those. So I'm going to rock it a little bit as I lift. And it's that simple. Just don't, this can bend easy if you drop it. These can break and bend easy if you drop it. Just be very careful with it. Do not drop it. You may want to wear gloves because some of these things are sharp on here. Wear some good work gloves so you don't hurt yourself. But as you can see here, in this transmission here, there's a key there. I don't know if you can see that there. And there's a key right there. And on here, you can see the key on here. Make sure your key's on there. And when you go to put this back in, you gotta line that key up. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it back in. And the other thing is just make sure you realize how this comes out. You know, it's with these, I'll point that out later. I'll just line that key up. And it should slip right down in there. Now from there, you gotta just, on this one, they'll probably go right in because it's right where it was, but you may need to fish, you may need to turn this and fish for the screw holes, you know. And if you still can't get them, lift it up and see where those screw holes are. I can see one right there. Once you get one lined up, the screw holes in this motor, as opposed to the holes there. You gotta line them up to make sure you get the first one. And once you get the first one, you're good. The others should be right there. Okay, I already got that first one. So now don't tighten them up, start all four, and once you get all four, then hand tighten them all, and then you can tighten them down with a 10mm wrench. If I didn't say so, I think I did, but this is just a Phillips screwdriver that loosens these screws to get those. And then you're just gonna put these back in order again, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's why you need to number them, to make sure you get them back in order. Make sure you get them in good and make sure you get them fully in there, you know. You gotta get them fully in there like that one is. You know, you don't want to see any metal, and then tighten it down nice and snug. And when you're done with it, tug on the wires, make sure they're all in there snug and good. And as you can see here, these things here are pointing let's do it this way. This white electrical box is pointing towards the back. Don't do it down here or up there. It won't work right. It needs to be pointing this way towards the back of the cutter, just like you see it there. Again, put all 4 bolts back in, tighten them all down. Get all 4 wires in, tighten them down, and then you're just basically going to carry it back to your stand and put it back on top of your stand. It's a fairly easy process. Only difficulty is the weight of this. You want to turn it to this side where you have to lift it up, because when you're screwing it, if you got it on the other side, it'd want to fall down on you and stuff. So you just want to be careful taking it in and out so you don't damage this. That's basically it. This video was published by mbkpinternational.com.